we were very lucky to come and live here. And, you know, so we've had some physical problems, but, you know, it is what it is, and you've just got to get on with it and, you know, enjoy every day.
Hi, this is Lynn Widmeyer, and I'm here with another interview of people who make our community so special and who we so love. We want to make sure they stay here. So I am with Val and Cliff Smith, who live in Shepherdstown, West Virginia. And I'm going to talk to them a little about CASA, Court Appointed Special
Advocates for
Advocates.
abused and neglected children,
of which they are so active and have made such a difference. But we'll talk about that a little later. First, I just wanted to start off by asking how somebody from Scotland and somebody from England ended up in Jefferson County, West Virginia.
Whoa, that's a long story.
make it short.
We'll make it short. I was born in London, brought up in Glasgow, Scotland, because my father was in the Navy at that time, and it was wartime, and my mother was from Glasgow.
Your father was in the Navy,
Yes.
and is that one reason why you pursued a naval career?
Well,
Yes.
yes.
How did you meet Val?
Well, we were both
At
at school. I was 17 years old, she was 15 years old. And she was at the ballet school, famous ballet school called Sadler's Wells. And it's in Barons Court in London, west side of London. And I was at St. Paul's School, a private school, over the road.
And we got married.
And then we were married in 1962. At that time, I was still under training with the Navy. I was in submarines and was promoted to commander in 1975. And I went to see my appointer and said, okay, what you got for me? And he said, well, we could post you to the Rolls-Royce, who are the designers of our and supporters of our nuclear submarine machinery. And, or he said you could go to the embassy in the United States of America. I said, well, that's a no-brainer, I'll do that.
Well, tell me a little bit about your ballet background.
Well, while he was in the Navy, I was training. It was Sadler's Wells, and then it got a Royal Charter and became the Royal Ballet. So I went to school at 9 there, and then at 16 joined the company and danced there. And then I hurt my foot actually when I was about 21, and so the point work was hard.
a little hard.
So I then did a lot of shows in London, and it was great fun. And then we got married. We got sent out here, and I got a job teaching the Washington Ballet Company.
Oh, wow.
And
That's pretty prestigious.
While he was at the embassy, so that worked out really well, and they sponsored me into America. And I was earning about $150 a month. And he was earning much more as a nuclear scientist, but he couldn't get the green card because there was lots of nuclear scientists, evidently.
You're kidding.
But there wasn't many people that could teach Swan Lake.
There you go.
So I got the green card and sponsored Cliff and the children.
Well, how did you end up in Jefferson County, West Virginia after this sort of
Well,
story?
I resigned from the Navy in 1978. DC, we were living in Bethesda. And DC was getting more and more crowded, and traffic was worse and worse.
Traffic.
So we decided to look around and eventually found Shepherdstown. It was delightful.
You know, you have become quickly very much part of the community, and I know one of the things that both of you have been so involved in is the CASA program. And not only have you both been involved, you founded it,
Yes.
didn't you, Val? So,
Well, before that, Joan Ergen and it was actually Sue Pellish as well. We started the AIDS network for the Eastern Panhandle.
Wow.
because I've done a lot of work with AIDS, in DC. In fact, I mean, a huge amount of work. And so we thought we'd start it here. And we did, and I was on that board with Joan for about 2 years, and then we thought, right, it's growing, so we'll back off. We were both getting bored. And I said, I've read an article in the journal, and
That's the Martinsburg Journal. That's
Yeah.
our local paper.
And I said, and we were both getting burnt out with people dying. Why don't we do child abuse instead?
Yeah, something more upbeat.
Okay.
And so now, was CASA at that time a national organization,
Yes.
and you started the local Eastern
Yes,
Panhandle?
it was. It's in California, the headquarters. And
What
we
a
started
wonderful
it here.
program.
It is. We're the biggest program now in Virginia.
Tell
West
us
Virginia.
just briefly what a CASA volunteer does.
Well, the child is abused or, really badly hurt or raped and taken out of the home by the police and put into foster care. And so in the past, that's why we read the article, they stayed there and moved from foster home to foster home until they were 18 and thrown out.
my.
So we thought this was terrible. So we called the National CASA, and their aim was to get advocates, train advocates, so that every child would have an advocate to speak on their behalf in court.
Gosh.
So that the
That's
mothers and
wonderful.
fathers who were hurting them didn't say, oh, we've recovered, we're doing well, and taking the child back and hurting them again. So there was only 2 of us to begin with. We were it. And now we have 72 volunteer advocates who are trained, and we're looking after, we've looked after thousands. We found over 5,000 homes for
Wow.
children.
How wonderful. That.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to put up how you contact CASA
Uh-huh.
and give money if you can't give time. And I did talk to the executive director, Michelle Sutton, just to get a little
She
background.
is great.
And she said that there is a Val Smith Volunteer Award they give every
Yes.
year.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Which is lovely.
And obviously you raise money, and that's where Cliff comes in. People pledged on your walk on
Yes.
the
Uh-huh.
How often have you watched that walk, the CNO
We
Canal?
worked out today, you walked 270 miles
Is that right? Uh-huh.
and raised over $50,000.
Not all at once.
No,
No, no, no.
I did 180.
I did the entire CNO Canal back in 2016. I tried to do a half marathon this last
This last year.
October. I did the first 2 sections, about 9 miles, and I nearly fell over. So
Yeah,
I
so
thought,
time to quit.
Time to
quit. Now, you all have had some health issues, but your love of life and your joy in the community and your commitment to help is just as vivid as
Well, thank you.
ever.
Mhm.
Why?
Well, we love the area, I think, and we have met a lot of people, most of whom are delightful. They're friendly, they're helpful, they come and look after you if you need it, and all good, interesting people.
Mhm.
And we're just very happy. Our children have come into this area as well, because
They want some of that happiness.
Yeah, they know what their fun is. Yeah.
I think that's my theory anyway. I mean,
What do you think, Val?
I agree. I mean, we were very lucky to come and live here. And, so we've had some physical problems, but, it is what it is, and you've just got to get on with it and, enjoy every day.
When you first moved to Shepherdstown, you lived in a much larger house.
Yeah.
Now you're in a villa.
Mhm.
Has that made life easier?
Much.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Much.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I mean, I love gardening, and I did a lot of it. And then one day I thought, I'm not enjoying this.
You hung up your
I'm
home?
not doing this. I could be doing other things. I don't know what I could have been doing, but I thought I could. So we decided that we were very lucky because a lady came and knocked at the door and said, I'd like to buy your house. And we went, oh, wow, that's lovely. It comes with gardening equipment. That's exactly. We had bought this villa. And I would advise anybody to do that. Buy something in advance before you're going to move downstairs.
You know, I've interviewed other older people, and that's the first thing they say: think ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Think ahead.
Right.
Don't wait till you have to
Yeah.
move
Mm-hmm.
to make your
Or
choice.
don't wait till somebody makes decisions for you.
Oh well,
I don't want that.
no.
So we,
No, she didn't.
God knows you probably tried, Cliff, and it's gone nowhere.
Absolutely.
so we bought this in 2012 and rented it, thinking one day we might move in.
Oh, you were so smart.
Which was great,
Mhm.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the advantage of this house is it's one floor,
Mhm.
and
We have a basement.
There is
you do have a
Yeah,
basement.
yeah.
Oh, that's
A
good.
big one. But we don't go in it very often, do we?
No, no.
Well, I want to thank you so much for talking with me. And as I said, you know, Val and Cliff are two other reasons why Jefferson County is just such a fabulous
It
place
is.
Mhm.
Mhm.
To be. And I'm so happy. You're not planning on moving, are you?
No.
Okay.
No, we're not.
Okay. Because
No.
otherwise, you know, I'd be very
I mean,
happy.
we're
that was
trying
the
to think
case.
ahead and think, well, we're going to need help. There's no doubt about it.
Mhm.
So how can we do that by still living here and getting people in to look after us?
Have you found that there are places that do that and that
We started looking, haven't we?
Yeah.
You know, to think ahead. Whether to put, for example, a kitchen in the basement so that somebody could live in. That would probably be the most sensible thing. Because it's all right having people in during the day, but you know, you need people in at night sometimes because you know, fall out of bed.
You're thinking ahead.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing well now, but you've
Yeah, we are.
got the future to think of.
Mhm. Yeah.
We're doing fine, aren't we?
We're doing okay.
Yay! You know, I was thinking today that you are really, you know, California now has Meghan and Harry, the
Uh-huh.
royals.
Right.
Yes.
But we have our own royals because we have a Royal Navy guy and a Royal Ballet.
And,
So we have our own royals.
and what more, we got a card from Prince Charles and Camilla, written by them, congratulating us on our dream.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, and for this interview. I both of you are great, and as I said, we have our own royals here in Jefferson County.
I'll have
Thank
to polish
you.
up the tea.
Oh, thank you. I've enjoyed it.
Thank you very much.